much, Jay. I would like to structure my presentation around three areas that we have been hearing since morning. One is around regulation, and also when we had a press conference briefly, there was this whole discussion about can we start thinking about complete prohibition, which states had initiated as an action, can we take it up at the country level? And third discussion was around the litigation. What has been the effect of litigation? So I will just take everybody back into the memory lane of tobacco control in India. So starting with the history of chewing tobacco, we had it introduced as a smoking product by Portuguese during 1600. But gradually it evolved into a smokeless product, and the traditional smokeless tobacco production changing to industry manufactured smokeless tobacco product is not very old in India. It's just about 3 decades old, but it has mushroomed as an epidemic that we all are facing today and finding it very, very difficult to regulate and control. The initial bans, even in the history, talk about banning the smoking forms of it. Whether it was by Jahangir or Maratha King Shivaji, all of them talked about banning the smoking forms of tobacco. Not much is mentioned about the smokeless. So right from the history, it has been a neglected area and definitely needs to be brought to the forefront. The constitutional directive, which is our Article 47 of the Constitution of India, does give us a very strong footing to promote public health and give it a priority over any other issue, which we need to utilize to law. Looking at the major policy attempts in the past, which is to reduce the demand of smokeless tobacco, PFA, the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act of 1955, has been the main provision which we will be discussing about, and even the next speaker does talk about PFA in more detail as a legislative measure. But looking at various state-specific issues and also the central government's various provisions, so advertising has been banned using the Cable Television Act of 1994, which has been now re-notified. Railway authorities have done enough to ensure that there is a ban on sale of gutkha on railway station premises, on buses. Also, COTFA, as Dr. Kaur had mentioned, comprehensively does talk about regulating through various provisions. So, some of the major attempts, because we always keep talking about the effect of second-hand smoke, but there is a second-hand impact of smokeless tobacco as well, which has not been considerably discussed in FCTC, and we probably need to discuss in the group work later today, that or tomorrow, whether we need to talk about upgrading FCTC, whether we need to see somehow we can regulate things better that we have not done in the past, or there is no way out and we have to think about completely banning this product. Because we have had states being front runners by imposing prohibition of smoking and spitting act, because chewing of tobacco does require frequent spitting, which has been shown to be causing a lot of communicable diseases, and Gujarat, Goa, West Bengal, Tamil Nadu have specific acts which are in that direction to promote public health and protect people from the second-hand health effects of spitting. The states have also been progressive in banning smokeless tobacco, again using the PFA provisions, and these have been Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Maharashtra, Goa, Bihar, who made these attempts between 2001 and 2003 to comprehensively ban sale, manufacture, storage and distribution of gutkha. Even when the ban was put up in Maharashtra, there was it was challenged in the Bombay High Court, and the court actually did upheld the ban, giving authorities to the State Food Health Authority that they can prohibit the sale of any particular food stuff under PFA. However, this was later challenged in another case, which was the famous Godavari court case in 2004, where the states did receive a bit of setback who were progressing in this direction, because the Honorable Supreme Court did struck down the notification, and they felt this is more of a decision to be taken by the central government than the state government. State governments can do it for a particular period of time, but to do it for a longer period, the center has to come up with a policy through proper debates. And the Godavari case also led to another provision, which was the Rule 44J, which is still sub judice, was that product not to contain any substance which may be injurious to health, and tobacco and nicotine shall not be used as ingredients in any food products. So this particular rule is currently being contended in another case, which is Union of India versus the Central American Marketing Cooperative and others in 2007. Goa is an excellent example, the best case study from India, because they have been able to bring about the Goa Public Health Amendment Act of 2005. We had Dr. Shekhar Sarkar here who would be able to throw more light on it. Where the state act says that no person himself or by any other person on his behalf shall manufacture, for sale or store, exhibit, sell or distribute, or in any way deal with any injurious food article used for human consumption, wherein gutka and other tobacco products fall under the definition of injurious food products. And this particular case was again challenged, but the Bombay High Court did uphold, and the Act currently does stay, and the ban is imposed in Goa. Coming to talk about Kotka, I will not get into details. We all know the various provisions, and Dr. Kaur did touch upon them. But we know that with Kotka also we have sale happening by minors, to minors. The statutory warning boards are not as per the provision. Though there are display boards around educational institutions, sales do happen. So there is comprehensive law in place, however we are unable to regulate. Pictorial health warnings, because of the small packaging size of the gutka packets, they are very, very minuscule, and people are unable to even make out what these warnings are. And then there are various versions of warnings. Some would put it two warnings together in English and Hindi to make the 40% areas, and others would put a single warning. So there is no clarity on it, and there are wide violations happening in smokeless tobacco products. There have been other related laws, like the municipal laws in various places in Chandigarh, Mumbai, Himachal Pradesh, which again do talk about smokeless tobacco products, because these are prohibition of littering and regulation of segregation, storage, delivery and collection rules. So use of gutka does lead to a lot of littering, and these laws govern around this nuisance. Several department acts and law also regulate smoking and spitting, as we did discuss. The Bombay Police Act and the Indian Railway Act bans spitting. Talking about FCTC, the Article 18 particularly talks about the protection of environment and health of person in relation to environment with respect to tobacco cultivation and manufacture. Also looking at the environmental aspects, the polluters pay principle of the environmental law is another provision which has been used recently in the Ankur Gutka case, Jaipur. And then the Consumer Protection Act of 1986 is available to consumers to redress their complaints and seek compensation for health costs, though these have not been successful in the past, and very few attempts have been made. Coming to the third strategy, the litigations. Again, there's a long list of litigations in the history whether it was banning the toothpaste and the tooth powder containing tobacco products, and also there were various challenges against the state bans that came into effect, then the Godawat case in the Supreme Court. Reimbursing healthcare cost was one class action complaint which is still pending at the National Consumer Redressal Commission. This was filed in 2005, and I understand there have been about 2 hearings, but still there's no decision in this matter. Notifications in Jharkhand, where the court quashed the notification for imposing ban on production, manufacture and sale of gutkha. In Goa, again, litigation such as Government of Goa's prohibition on manufacture, sale and distribution of any article of food containing tobacco in the entire state was upheld by the court. And we have Mr. Bidon Mishra in our audience today. This was a very, very important incident where Mr. Mishra petitioned and he was very successful in bringing about the reversal of notification where subsidies and exemptions were being given to the manufacturers of gutkha, and he very successfully was able to revert that notification. So there have been advocacy attempts, there have been litigations, there have been regulations. Magnesium in gutkha product is an issue that has been very strongly discussed and also studied in various laboratories because it's harmful. And again, these are a list of litigations which have been filed against excessive magnesium in gutkha products and other chewing tobacco products. The recent Ankur Gutkha case has been very strongly discussed and debated, which is by the Indian Care Society, and where the plastic packaging has been banned for gutkha products and other tobacco and pan masala products. So, just to sum up, what are the challenges and opportunities for us today as we meet together for this consultation? We are having people who are poorly informed. Many of the people don't even know that the product they are using as gutkha or a chewing tobacco product actually contains tobacco in it. Ingredients are not known to everybody. They are not declared. Whether we need a comprehensive legislation, even after having FATFA and so many other department acts and state acts, do we still need more legislation? Do we need a comprehensive regulatory framework for tobacco control in the country? Do we need strong monitoring and implementation mechanism? There is surrogate advertisement, there is brand stretching despite having Article 5 of FATFA which comprehensively bans tobacco advertising. There is insufficient counter-advertisement, though still the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has started very strong advertising awareness campaigns, which was about mouth cancer, which have been successful in bringing about awareness. Lack of uniform taxation, we have discussed in earlier sessions. Alternate cropping and employment measures. If we talk about banning this product completely, as a country, are we ready to answer various questions which would come around alternate cropping and employment measures? Are we ready with cessation answers? Do we have enough cessation centers? Do we have the capacity to address people who would want to quit as a result of banning this product? And also other challenges like the corporate philanthropy, the public promotions which do not come into the wide public light. Opportunities currently we have is it's a conducive environment for a comprehensive policy for ban. Litigations challenging industry attacks. The Ankur Gutkha case does give us a very important footing to talk about such a legislation. We have FSSAI formed and we'll have that discussed in the next session. Under research and surveillance, GATS clearly highlights that smokeless tobacco product usage is rising in our country and we have to bring about policy measures to curb that. State initiatives to ban smokeless tobacco have happened, so we have a history about banning, and we have small success stories from various villages, Jorhat village, District Kottayam, others who are making smoke-free or completely tobacco-free attempts in India. So we see the way forward, and we see that the consultation should look at two likely scenarios, whether we need a complete banning or we need to regulate with more legislative initiatives. So I would like to end my presentations with small initiatives of conditional regulation, inadequate judicial orders in favor, no health claim waivers to victims, small tobacco-free initiatives. We probably need to think beyond regulating smokeless tobacco products. Thank you very much.